Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. Hope you had a great weekend. Happy Monday. It begins again. But today we're going to be diving into a new summon pool event, which has kicked off. No fanfare, no announcement or preview from Plarium. It's just started today in game, and I want to break it down for you. This one is pretty interesting. I do think it's pretty interesting. Like at a quick glance, the Warrior S summon pool. I'm going to break these champs down. There's actually some really, really good legendaries in here. And I think this is the first time we've seen this breakdown. 4.5% legendary, 95.5% epic for 30 prism shards. I did a little bit of quick figuring out. So I basically figure that it's 3/4 of a sacred for a 10x event, right? A sacred shard is a 6% chance. For legendary, 94% chance epic. So I figure that the prism shard, it's worth about 3/4 of a sacred in terms of the legendaries. What is interesting about that is in terms of price, a sacred shard is typically $15 to $20. A prism shard here to get one pull is $7.5. So that's not too bad. Now, you do miss out on, of course, the opportunity to pull in a 2x event. And I'd say rough rule of thumb, pulling in a 2x event, or pulling generally speaking in 2x events, generates about 50% more legendaries. It's a little unintuitive, but that is how it works, roughly speaking. The big thing is mercy, right? You are not getting any mercy timer with these prism shards, but with a sacred shard, you do get a mercy timer. But this I don't know. I think for spenders, right, this does become kind of interesting. You could buy a bunch of prism crystals. You don't have any mercy. You could get really screwed on your luck. But yeah, I mean, compared to a regular 10x event, I'd say that at this sort of price point, this is where the prism, the summoning pool, the prism for spenders, and pretty much spenders only, this does become a very tempting option. So I'm curious how it's going to go. Like, I'd love to ask other spenders, what are you going to do? Are you guys going to go hard on this event or not? Because there's some really, really strong legendaries in there, some chase legendaries, I would say. So that is kind of spicy. Now, of course, there's also the possibility we will get some free prism crystals as well from just events over the next while. I would not be shocked. We'll check this. It's in 2 minutes. Soulstone Rush, that might give prism crystals. Not sure if there's anything upcoming at the moment. Not really. I wouldn't be surprised if there were some. Usually there's not much. I think the most we've ever seen was maybe about 60, but that was at the most. Sometimes it's more like 40 or so. I think you probably get one free pull of this. So you've got a 4.5% chance to, I would say, get a pretty good legendary, which, for a free-to-play player, that's kind of nice, right? It's going to be a decent chunk of work to get it done. But I think the next fusion is likely to be pretty terrible. I might, in fact, do a deep dive video on preparing for the next fusion, maybe later today or tomorrow, depending on how much news there is. But yeah, look, so there you go. This is what I feel. Okay, let me know what you think about the value of this, how much value you put on the Mercy. But that's sort of the value of that. If we look at the actual champions here, let me break this down. So let's look at the legendaries first, right? The legendaries are extremely, extremely good here, I would say. Like Harima, that's an S. She be, in fact, I'd say it's like S plus. S plus for Harima. I would say that Elva is an S tier champion. Trunda for Hydra Clash now is S plus. I'd say Valkyrie for Fire Knight is an S tier champion. So you've got 4 S tier champions. And 2 that are just the best of the best. Like Harima is just best in class for Arena. Trunda, best in class for Hydra. There's nobody better. I mean, arguably Valkyrie is best in class for Fire Knight Hard for sure. And Elva is arguably against her best in class for Ice Golem Hard, I would say. And really good Arena champs as well. Then for these other ones here, like I'd be giving... I give Lissandra like an A. I think Lissandra's pretty good. I'd probably go down. I'd probably be giving Kyoku a B. That's a terrible B. I'd probably give Kyoku a B. Like, she's not amazing, not bad. I'd probably give her a C, and I'd probably be giving a Bess a D. I think she's pretty not very good. This would be sort of rough rating, very rough rating. Broadly speaking, Lissandra is amazing at turn meter control. It's not amazingly relevant in the game, but she's really, really good for Dark Fae. She is still a solid arena champion, so she gets an A for me, but she's not really best in class anywhere. She's not sort of essential. in a lot of ways like a Trunda would be. If you want to get best Hydro Clash score, you need a Trunda, simple as. Kyoku, I give her a B. She's like a decent-ish arena champion. She's pretty good for things like Bommel. She's okay, but again, she's just a super standout late game. Jetney is she's okay with Alsgore in arena, right? She's a decent arena nuker, but there's tons of arena nukers, and she just kind of need her partner. So she's very niche, but she can be usable. And then Abess, a couple of AoEs, that's fine. Decreased defense. She's more of a faction war early game champion. She falls off pretty hard, kind of needs a buff. But it's a pretty good set of legendaries. Like, honestly, 5 out of the 8 are pretty fantastic to get copies of, right? And again, Lissandra, you could potentially even look at empowering her for arena at some point, right? For extra speed. It's not amazing, but hey, it's something. Coming down to look at the epics, then I'll just give these like ticks, or yeah, I'll just give them like ticks or X's or whatever. But Fire Gun is good. I think Elistinia, I think she's called, is pretty good. I'm not really sure. I feel like she is mostly a faction war sort of champion, I think. Thylesia is actually great. AoE decreased defense Hex champ. She's pretty decent for Hydra, so is she. Fire Gun is good for lots of different bosses. I think this Tomoe is just pretty bad. I do actually really, really still like Zargala. She remains relevant for a lot of stuff. Just generally speaking, she's just very useful across the game as a good damage dealer for epic rooms and stuff like that. I'm not sure about Endalia. She's very, very medium. Armina, decreased defense, AoE, but not great. Endalia brings you good crowd control. She might be a tick, honestly. I'm not sure. Captain, I think that this one is like not very worthwhile. I think I might give a tick to, no, we'll give a yellow to Juliana. She's a good single target damage dealer, but like gets very much outclassed by Whisper, who is also an epic, although a void epic. I actually think Talia is just bad. Aina, I think she's okay for a Demon Lord. I give her that. Then we've got, I'm actually going to give a double tick to Allure. Allure is best in class for, again, a lot of turn meter control stuff. She's just insanely good. She's a must-have for your account. Wiranon is mostly a faction war champion. She's amazing. Morag is brilliant defense-based damage dealer and ally attack. Super underrated epic. She is amazing lady. Annabelle as well. Super good for Hydra, for Bommel. Extremely, extremely good. Franox is like an okay single target damage dealer. I think, yeah, the Gurna is just terrible. Honestly, you could probably skip Chinoru, unfortunately. And I'll give the yellow mark to Crimson Helm over here. She's okay for soloing Bommel, but it's miserable. But we'll point it out as being a thing. Maybe Captain Tamila is okay support for, you know, I'll give Captain Tamila. I'll give her a yellow line as well. So like we come in, it's actually, again, I would say at a quick glance, it's a pretty decent selection of epics. You've got some quite solid ones in there. Allure really stands out. Lady Annabelle, Morag, Firegun, Isbale, Alessia is good. Yeah, there's some solid options in there, and the Legos are good. I think this is actually one of the better summon pools that they've done. And I do have to say I like the cost, the shard level being low, only 30 to summon. So hopefully a lot of people are going to get a free summon. Hopefully you'll get something good. I've broken them down. Hopefully you get something with a tick. Hopefully you get something green and not something red. But yeah, I'm intrigued by this event. I usually don't really like these summon pool events at all because they're pretty much just a spender only, better 10x kind of, but with no bad luck protection. But this one seems to be done reasonably well. So yeah, there you go. That's what I think about that. We'll see what sort of events come out over the week and what is in there. I pretty much tell you for a fact that any big whale or kraken that is lacking on Trundes and Harimas is going to be going hard, right? This is going to make them probably a lot of money. All right, guys, thank you for watching. I don't have a Trunde or Harima, but I'm also, I don't know about spending now, boys. I'm going to buy the Xena thing, so I don't know about spending more than that. Let me know what you would do in my shoes. But yeah, I mean, we could maybe do like a 10 pull. Or how much would a 10 pull cost me? That would cost like $100. Oh, geez, I don't know about that for one video. We'll see. Thanks for watching, though, guys. See you next time. Goodbye.